Dr. Max Gomez, thank you so much for being here today with us from CBS 2 News here in New York. So I had a quick opportunity to check over your book, and it's very interesting. A lot of times when you hear talk about cures for cancer and different types of diseases, you automatically think pills or injections or something like that. But you're talking about cell therapies.
So it's interesting because, drugs generally address kind of one biochemical pathway. And every one of our cells right now, even while we're sitting here, have probably maybe 1 billion chemical reactions going on every second. So cells kind of do a lot, kind of know a lot of what's going on, and that's how they protect themselves, and they kind of interact with their environment and stay alive. So cells are really kind of smarter than we are. So if we put in a drug, we're only trying to address one little pathway there. Cells, if you put them in the right environment, the right kind of cell in the right environment at the right time, so the details are important, they kind of know what to do. And we have lots of examples of putting cells in the right place, and they look around and they go, okay, I kind of know what I'm supposed to do here, and they act as either promoters of healing or they themselves do some of the healing. So there's a variety of different ways, and we're seeing this in everything from type 1 diabetes to cancer to even anti-aging.
Talk a little bit about what you're going to address the crowd with today.
Today I was going to give them a little bit of an overview on things. I was going to do the anti-aging, but I figured this being a more scientifically inclined crowd, I thought I'd go with type 1 diabetes. We're using cells to rebalance the immune system to stop autoimmunity. And we're doing that, the trials are going on right now in type 1 diabetes. And the reason we're doing it in type 1 diabetes is because it's really easy to tell whether you're having any effect. What's your blood sugar, how much insulin do you need, and you can kind of tell what's going on. So if it works in type 1 diabetes to rebalance the immune system, the autoimmunity that is causing, the autoimmunity is attacking the insulin producing cells in the pancreas. If it works in type 1 diabetes, we can do it in lupus, we can do it in Crohn's disease, we can do it in rheumatoid arthritis. There are dozens of autoimmune diseases that we can balance. So I'm going to talk about that, and the other thing is talk a little bit about what are called CAR T cells. 2 of those have actually now been FDA approved, and they're curing what we call liquid or blood cancers, a type of really bad leukemia in children, and another one, a non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in adults. Approved, and it looks like they're cures. So this is really some really exciting stuff.
Do you think we'll get to a point where we're doing more with cell therapy versus drugs?
It's hard to say what the future is going to look like, but I think that in the not too distant future, your doctor, he or she, might give you a prescription for a living drug, a living cell, instead of a pill or a capsule. There's always going to be room for actual medications, drugs or pills or whatever. So, don't worry, pharma is going to do just fine. And there are a lot of things that will have to be worked out to figure out these cellular therapies, not the least of which, by the way, is how we're going to pay for them, because some of these are extraordinarily expensive. I mean, we're talking the CAR T cell for leukemia in kids has been priced at $470-something thousand. Wow. $500,000. So we'll have to figure out a lot of different things, but I think it's going to be, you're going to see a lot of cells as well as drugs.
And before we go, why don't you tell people about your book, what it's called, where they can get it?
It's called Cells Are the New Cure. And we kind of go everything from cancer to aging to autoimmune diseases, neurologic diseases. I mean, where cells fit in, how cells are going to impact everything, and then how we're going to fund it, what kind of research we need, that sort of thing. And it's available, in bookstores, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, all of the usual suspects.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gomez, for
My
being
pleasure.
here.